guys, so next story up. So I said that I was going to talk about Chika and her mental health struggles. Prayers up for her as well, because she was having a panic attack on an airline, a flight that she was on the other day. And I'm assuming that it was a late night flight. She was having these panic anxiety attacks on the plane. Anybody who has had a panic attack, you already know how that feels, okay? It can get so bad that you actually feel like you're having a heart attack. You lose your breath, your chest is hurting. I mean, you get all of the symptoms of a heart attack when you really aren't having a heart attack. But that's how severe a panic attack can get. And the way she was talking in the social media post, or I think it was on Twitter, the way that she was talking on Twitter, that sounds like exactly where she was. She felt like she wanted to scream almost, but she couldn't because she's on this plane, but she's probably feeling locked in, caged in, can't really say anything because everybody is asleep. She doesn't want to interrupt people, but inside she probably felt like she was about to blow. And she said that she was on that plane. It had been 2 hours and she just could not get it together. So her way of letting some of that anxiety and that panic, the only way she knew how to do it was to get on Twitter and kind of talk it out with her people. Shortly after that, she posted so a really alarming post, really, really lengthy, but basically talked about how she wanted to kill herself and she had every intention of doing it. She was at the Intercontinental Hotel. She had went up to, she was going to go and jump off of the top of it. However, she was afraid scared because of the metal stairs, and she was kind of disappointed in herself that she wasn't even able to do that, and the post goes on and on. It kind of just talks about her failures, the things that have happened in her life that she just feels like, she doesn't want to be here any longer. And she's not sorry about it. She does feel bad that her family would have to suffer from her being gone. But other than that, she's just like, oh, well, basically the world has put her here. The world doesn't understand her, and she's just at the end of her rope, you guys. And I read the whole thing and it just made me so sad, you guys, because our youth today, I don't know how old Chika is, but I know she's not my age. She's not even in my generation. So when I talk about the youth, I'm talking about people that ain't in this generation. But the mental health, I'm sure COVID, the pandemic hasn't helped at all. But our youth are really, really, really having a hard time just with life and trying to maintain and trying to it's really, really interesting because I don't know if the kids today have it any worse than it was when I was younger, but obviously somewhere in the cog of life, the new generation just feels completely stressed and anxious and upset many times, and really do have a lot of mental health struggles. I do attribute a lot of it to social media, because while social media can be very positive for some, it can be very negative for a lot of others, and social media gives you this, and not even just our youth, because I've seen people even my age feel a certain kind of way about, social media and making them feel like they're not achieving as much, and looking at other people and what they're able to do, and why haven't I, comparing yourself to what other people are doing, when we all know that most of the times when we're on Instagram, we're only putting forth our best. We're not showing you guys when we down in the dumps and when shit is real hard and all of that, not normally. So what you are comparing yourself to is not even a realistic way to look at life. And so you put all this extra burden and pressure on yourself trying to be something that you're never going to be able to be. And that person that you're comparing yourself to is not that person either, So it's just really made life tougher. I've talk to even my own kids, and, they feel like they should be a certain place in their lives. And it's just sort of like, you're 20, you know, like you should be living your life and you shouldn't put all this pressure on yourself, but they do, and so we have to try to understand that. And I just felt, really heartbroken for Chika because, and I talk to my friends who have kids my age as well, and we all just be like, girl, it just be a whole lot. And I be trying to understand, you guys. And listen, what is he barking about? Sorry about that, you guys. So anyway, it's just tough, and it's just a hard time for our youth. And, always when I have these kind of talks with you guys, I'm talking to myself too, that we need to just be a little bit more patient. And even if we don't understand, we just, because I would be heartbroken to see my child put something like this up, So after she had posted that, she nobody could find her. There was a wellness check. The North Hollywood police in California went to her apartment, and she wasn't there. So nobody really knew exactly what was going on, but everybody was really upset and hoping that she hadn't succeeded. And also in that post, she had kind of implied that she has tried it before and it didn't work. So y'all save your tears until I'm successful. Don't feel sorry for me until it really happens. Well, a couple of days later, maybe even the next day, she posted on her Twitter that even though she didn't understand why she was even letting you guys know, and that's kind of right there telling enough that people still feel like a slave to social media. You still posting and updating even when you absolutely don't feel like it. But she felt like, an obligation to let everybody know that she was in the hospital. She's out the hospital now. She just wants to be left alone. She just wants to go home. But the way that she was speaking in that original post just kind of makes me feel like, she eventually is going to keep trying until she succeeds. And that's just really sad. Now, when people do post things like that, usually it's a cry for help. So I'm hoping that, she's able to get the help that she needs. But she is definitely going through, definitely going through. And like I said, Ariel Lennox just posted something about fake friends, and she actually got caught up in this whole Chika thing because somebody told her that she needed to reach out to Chika. And then she said, yeah, Chika's already made it clear that we're not friends. And then somebody was like, oh, I mean, you would be like this when she's in her darkest times. And Ariel was like, I didn't even know she was going through that. I didn't have any idea about that post. Of course, I don't want anything to happen to her, But even still, even that on social media is like how quickly something can be misunderstood, and how things get elevated so quickly, and people, put words in your mouth, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. So yeah, I just hope that she's able to get the help that she needs, because she definitely needs the help, you guys. And I guess I need to also put in here that if you are contemplating suicide, then you can always reach out to the suicide hotline. I'll give you the number here. It's 1-800-273-8255, because when you're at that point, and if these people can help you, when you call, if you just need somebody to listen to you, then that is what you should do. Okay, because we don't want to lose anybody, not any of my rock stars or anybody else, not to suicide. So yeah, you guys, anyway, prayers up to Chika. Hopefully she gets better soon. Next story up. So it seems that the Black folks at Tesla, and now I've already told you guys about a lawsuit that happened with Tesla, I guess I feel like a few months ago. But the Black folks in California at the California plant of Tesla, they is fed up, and they have brought upon us a class action suit. There hasn't been any monetary amount attached yet, but over 4,000 former and current employees at Tesla have joined in this lawsuit, and saying that they have been treated horribly, racially negatively, basically, at the Tesla plant. And the stories go on and on, you guys. There's an LA Times article that you need to read, where it's just they take instance after instance after instance with different people that have worked there and what has happened. But basically, the Black people, they are relegated usually to the assembly line jobs. And once they start there, they consider the assembly line the plantation. Okay, they call it the plantation. They put the Black people in those positions, and then the Black folks that are there are called monkeys and called niggas, and they have to fight for promotions, and even when they get promoted, they are outcasted, they are blackballed. If they do complain, then they have been fired. Okay. Tesla, and it's way more than that, but I'm just giving you the gist of what's going on there. But it's been a whole bunch of shit going on there at Tesla. When the Black people have complained to HR, they found themselves either disciplined or fired. All right. And so they are sick of it and feel like they're being mistreated. Not just the white folks are mistreating them, but they say also the Latino people are mistreating them. And it's just to the point where they can't take it anymore. They brought upon this lawsuit, and we'll see what happens. Now, Tesla is saying that, no, those people were not fired because they complained about being racially targeted. They were fired because they were being disciplined for, performance at their job and them not being at 100. But when you have all of these, 4,000 is a whole bunch of people, okay? When you have all of these stories, and like I said, go and read the LA Times story, but it was horrible what they were doing to those Black folks. And Tesla's gonna have to come up off some money. I can already see, because I told you guys about that other lawsuit that happened, and that was with the elevator contractor worker who didn't even really he was contracted to work at Tesla. And remember, he got like $137 million or something like that. It's probably held up in appeals court and all of that now, but that was what he won. And it was a lot of the same kind of things he was saying. I don't know if this was in California, but he was saying the same things, like he was called niggas and he was, talked down to, and he was disciplined, and it was all these things that was happening. And when he complained, nothing happened. I think Tesla felt like they would just try to train everybody to, know how to have better relations with their employees and everything. But it was just sort of like, it's not working, and you continuing to let this environment fester. So 4,000 people, plus complaining, this class action suit, I imagine, and Tesla making the money that they have already, I imagine that they need to be getting their pocketbooks ready real quick. Elon Musk is aware of it. They said that he would even come to the plant, but, wouldn't have any contact with the worker bees. I mean, who does at that point, when you become a Elon Musk, you ain't worried about the assembly line. But he gonna worry about it when he gotta write that check, because it's gonna come. Because the stories, there's too many of them, and the examples that they give is bad. So we'll keep our eye on it, but baby, them folks is tired, and you can't let this happen at your job. You have got to be on it, especially in this day and age. People ain't standing for this mess no more. So when I know what happens with that lawsuit, I'll let you know. And there's other companies that have, Google has a racial discrimination lawsuit that's going on. I think it's a class action. I didn't get that information, but I think they have one that's going as well. Similar stories, racially targeted stories, but of course they don't have an assembly line, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know when I know. All right, you guys, next story. So Mimi, Mimi was in MADMIMI mode on her IG live. So apparently she does these IG lives and they get posted to her YouTube channel, and where she's just kind of engaging with her fans and talking to them and answering questions and whatever. So the other day, I guess in her effort to wash that man or that woman right out of her hair, she was getting a haircut. You know what they say about women who get haircuts, usually it's something that we're going through. We feel like we need to cut off of that energy of what our hair holds and just start anew. So this was supposedly Mimi's first haircut ever, besides just getting her hair cut into a bob. I was like, well, if you had your hair cut in a bob, you had a haircut. But I think they were saying that it was her first time getting like a shortcut, and she kind of got one of the, kind of almost like how Rocky used to wear her short haircuts, which I do kind of miss, you guys. I might go back to it soon. Just the fact of trying to get back to just trying to go back to the hairstylist, especially working from home. It was easier when I was at work and I could just go on the way from work to home. I could stop and get my hair done, but getting out this house to go get my hair done, child, I don't want to do it. So Terry Styles, you continue to make these wigs. Rocky will continue to buy them until, it's time for me to get back out into the world like that. But anyway, honey, she was in MADMIMI mode. She was answering questions and everybody was asking her, like, is she still cool with this person, that person, this with it, It's so funny because Mimi is so different in real life than the persona that she puts on her reality shows. Like, so when she's on Love and Hip Hop, she's very much Zen Mimi now. She's above it all, and, she's very soft-spoken, and, she's very controlled with her words, and, But child, let her get out there in real life, baby. That Mimi is totally different. First of all, her favorite word is, I don't fuck with them. It's just like, she don't fuck with that one. I don't like her. So let's just go down the list of people that she said that she doesn't like. Of course, people are asking her if she's fine with Joseline. She was just like, no, I don't fuck with Joseline. Joseline's energies is off. Let me just put it to you this way. Sometimes opposites don't attract. And she and Joseline, they just are complete opposites, and they definitely don't attract. It's too bad that their daughters will, their siblings, and hopefully they can continue their relationship on. But as far as Mimi is concerned, she don't fuck with Joseline. Okay, don't ask me no more questions about the bitch. I was like, oh, goodness. Okay. So that was Joseline. What about Stevie J? Will you get back together with him? She was like, listen, no. She will never get back together with Stevie J. She has love for him because that's her baby's father, obviously. So, but she's never in love with him. She won't be in love with, she would never let herself get back to that point. Not in this lifetime or the next 25 lifetimes. So I think that would be a no. What about you and Ty? She was like, Maybe. She was like, didn't that bitch get on social media and say, that we wasn't together? You had to be, with somebody. She's single and all that. No, I don't fuck with Ty. I'm not with her no more. And I was just like, you can almost kind of slightly hear the LA, the LA nigga come out in her a little bit. But she's not from LA, but I think she lived in LA for some time. So she kind of definitely has that accent in there. But anyway, so yeah, that would be a no. What about K. Michelle? I don't fuck with that bitch either. Because, basically she tells us that she's a user. And that, she will only be around you in order to climb the ladder, basically. And then she drops you like a hot rock. So yeah, she don't fuck with K. Michelle either. Then people just start going down the list. What about Sierra? She says she loves Sierra. What about Spice? She says she loves Spice. What about Erica? Erica who? I think they was asking Erica Dixon, but I think she thought they were talking about Erica Mena. She, I love Erica Mena. That's my baby. They asked her about Melissa. Do you still talk to Melissa? She said she hasn't talked to Melissa in years. They asked her about Chris. I was like, who is Chris? I didn't even remember who Chris is. No, she's not cool with Chris. They asked her about Nico. She was like, who the fuck asked me about Nico? No, I don't fuck with Nico no more. Like, what? Why would somebody ask me that shit? Then they asked her about Pooh. And she had to think about it. And she was just like, yeah, I guess we cool. She was like, let me not say nothing too much about that girl. That girl crazy. They asked her about Rashida. Yeah, Rashida is her girl. They asked her about Jackie Christie. It was just like, why y'all asking about Jackie? She was like, I don't know Jackie. She was like, I mean, I'd love to meet her, but I don't know Jackie. Same with Princess Love. She doesn't know Princess Love. She'd be cool with meeting her, but she doesn't really know her. She glazed over Ariane. I think probably at that time she was just tired of answering, so she didn't ever answer. But they did ask her about Ariane. She didn't say anything about it. Tommy, they asked her how she felt about Tommy, and she was just like, I mean, I don't fuck with her. I mean, she was like, we cool. Like, if we see each other, we gonna speak, but we ain't friends or nothing like that. So, child, it was just sitting there listening to her talk. I was just like, oh, Lord, Mimi. She is just funny. She is funny, just to sit there and watch. And she was also getting her hair cut. So the whole time she was running her hands through the hair and moving her head. I said, I know that hairstylist is tired of her. That's exactly the fuck why they don't like you to be looking in the mirror when you get your hair done. Because she was moving that cut so much. The girl had to keep on cutting to keep her precision together. And then she'd run her hands through it and do all of this. I said, Mimi, girl, turn that chair around. Switch that shit around so that she looking at the wall so she ain't got to keep messing up your cut. But yeah, she just be the most. She be the most all the time. Okay, so it's always a good time to just sit there and listen to Mimi, and we've had plenty of these moments, you guys. We'll never forget the infamous black and white video that she did when she was with Jermaine Dupri. And it looked like they were playing pool somewhere, and it was a bunch of other people in the room, and she was just like, fuck somebody, fuck them, so. I was waiting for her to start banging on the girl. Where your red and blue rag at, shit? She was just answering how she felt about people, and also talking about her businesses, and people were asking. She didn't really talk much about her business, and I guess she throws parties out here in Atlanta. With actually the girl that was doing her hair, who also is a DJ. So they have these events where people can come pay and party with them. Hello? But anyway, you guys, people keep calling me, but y'all just go and check out the video for yourself. She's just kind of promoting herself and talking to her people. So, I guess. Guys, speaking of Joseline, so let's talk about the rise and the potential fall of Joseline Hernandez, you guys. So she came upon the scene with a bang, to put it lightly, when she started on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Okay, she was a huge personality there. She was, between her and Mimi, they were like the ones that brought people to Love and Hip Hop. The drama that went on with the bus and Stevie J and that triangle, it was a whole lot. Throughout all of that, her popularity grew and grew and grew. So I think after 6 seasons, she decided to leave Love and Hip Hop. The relationship with her and Mona had gone very bad. Shit went sour. I mean, she was making songs about Mona and telling her to give her fucking money and cussing her out, and just doing a lot. And I think that part of the reason why she was doing that was because she knew that she had a new show that was in the works. Now, evidently, her and Carlos King had hooked up, and he was going to put her on a show on WeTV, her own show called Joseline Takes Miami. So remember, that's when she moved to Miami, and that's when she got really into physical training, and she was fit, and she looked like she wasn't on drugs and drinking anymore, and she was just really trying to get her life together. So I thought that that's what we were going to get, but somewhere along the line, the talks for that show, or maybe they had even filmed it, but it didn't never come to fruition. We never saw it. And I imagine maybe something happened in the relationship with her and Carlos King. And the show just either got shelved or just was like, no, we're not doing it now. And, but it was good for Joseline. She was able to get a show on a new streaming, network called Zeus. Okay. And that is a Black owned network. She was going over there, under the guise of, women's empowerment. Remember that song? She always used to be like, I want to do something for women's empowerment. So her show was going to be called Joseline's Cabaret, and it was going to be like a cabaret show of strippers. who, taking them out of the dirty work of working in the strip club and being disrespected and all of that, and empowering these women to be a part of a cabaret, something maybe a little bit more respectable, something that they could proudly be a part of. Okay, that was how the show was presented to us back when it first started. Fast forward 3 seasons, the end of the 3rd season, and now the show is a fucking mess. Women's empowerment is pretty much out the water. Now it is just really a show of a bunch of women who are getting together, who are calling each other hoes and cussing each other out and fighting and, and really just not the picture that we thought that we were getting of a show. It was just like a modern day Bad Girls Club, but bring along strippers, and it was just really a mess. The only person that probably has been looking better and better with each season, or making more and more money, I should say, is Joseline. Okay, and over the years you can tell that she has definitely made her money off of this show. It's done well for her and all of that. Okay, can't be mad at her for that. The problem with Joseline, and I think that Joseline blocked me on Instagram. I have never been blocked by a celebrity. Because I never leave anything negative on other people's pages. I mean, I try not to even put negative shit really on my own Instagram. I may only talk about that shit negatively here on top of the blog. So I was like, oh, you guys watching me? Because they sure don't tell me. But I can't find her on Instagram, so I was just like, I really think she blocked me. But anyway, you guys, the problem with Joseline is her ego. Like, I've talked about it. And so with every show that she's been on, she has soured the relationship with the person that brought her to that show, and she just moves on to the next. So she did it to Mona. I'm not sure if that happened with her and Carlos King, truthfully. But that, at least the show didn't happen. And then now she's in a position with Zeus, and it looks like the same thing might be happening here. She's saying that she's leaving the show and that she's got another show in the works, that somebody was like, oh my God, we're going to miss seeing you on Cabaret. Like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I got another show already. You guys going to see me on TV. Zeus is like, well, we don't know what she's talking about. She still has to work. She's still, I guess, under contract with Zeus, and they still have Joseline's Cabaret. We haven't even seen the reunion yet. Okay, so, yeah, they don't, as far as they know, she doesn't have another show, but she's saying that she does. So it sounds like the relationship with Zeus and Joseline is getting messy as well, and that, it's too bad, because she really is like her character, her persona is large, and she, obviously can bring in the views and all of that, but it just gets way too big and out of control, and then she becomes like a egomaniac almost. And because that big reunion that they had and the fights there, and now Zeus has been pulled into this lawsuit by the Ebony girl, is looking like more and more strippers, or I shouldn't say strippers, more and more of the girls from the show are joining in on this lawsuit. Zeus is now put in a place where they're probably going to have to get rid of their #1 rated show. Okay. I know they got Bad Boys of LA, and that shit is probably going to take the spot. But, now people are getting to the point where they're getting tired of Zeus Network and, just the negativity that goes on there. Even though people seem to thrive on it because somebody was watching it, but people are just really getting tired of it. And so now Zeus has been put in a position where they're going to have to do something, which means that they're probably going to have to get rid of Joseline's show. At the least, they're going to have to get rid of Ballistic, because he was beating up on the girls too. But at the most, the show is probably over. They've got this lawsuit now that they've got to tend to, and I'm sure in the lawsuit, they probably have to turn over the footage. And if we see people holding these girls down while Joseline and her team beat up on these people, including her fiance Ballistic, then that is not going to be a good look for them at all, So, yet again, another relationship that she has soured. I don't know for sure if she does have another TV deal or whatever. I would imagine she'd have to be out of this one that she's in now before she can move on to the next. Yeah, it's just too bad, because y'all know Joseline was my girl. And I was happy to see the success that she was getting, and do it like it's my B-day, and do it like it's my B-day, baby. Do it like it's my B-day. I was happy to see all of that success for her, but man, it just can't, it just gets worse and worse. And we've seen her do this more and more, and it's just sort of like, has she gotten to the point where she's burned the bridges and people don't want to take that chance on her anymore? You know, so we'll see. I mean, I hope that everything is they're able to get everything straightened, but something tells me it's going to be really difficult, because this lawsuit is serious. And if they show them girls getting their ass beat and all, it's going to be bad. They're going to get rid of everybody. So, but we'll see, you guys. We will see. And then lastly, you guys, I mean, I guess I could just say EricaMentalStruggles has finalized her divorce from Safaree. So, I mean, I guess we can clap for her if you... I don't really know what her storyline gonna be on Love and Hip Hop now, but you know what? Listen, if she like it, I love it. I think we gonna be happy that we ain't got to deal with her and Safaree and that bullshit anymore. But I'm sure that they'll figure out a way to draw it out if indeed Love and Hip Hop Atlanta even comes back. But she was at a club the other day, and she was just announcing to everybody that she was now a free single woman and fully divorced. So, I mean, good for her, child. Just good for her. All right, you guys, let me get on off of here. We do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.